Throughout history, there have been many jobs for the people to do, and especially in ancient history is where the most unique and worst jobs ever existed. So let us get into it. The first one on the list is tanner. If you don't know what a tanner was basically a craftsman who transformed raw animal hides into leather, a material vital for making clothing, footwear, armor, and various goods for the people. However, tanners had a dirty and smelly job. They turned animal skins into leather by soaking them in gross stuff like urine and old vegetables to make them soft. After that, they scraped off the hair and fat, then soaked the skins again in more mixtures to finish the process. Even though they made important things like shoes and bags, tanners were typically located on the outskirts due to their stench and the nature of their work. But it goes without saying that without tanners, society would have lacked many everyday essentials like shoes, belts, and armor. The next job on the list is salt miner. In ancient times, being a salt miner was extremely dangerous. Being a salt miner meant that you had to work under the scorching sun on the salt flats, or you could choose to go into the tunnels of a mine that could collapse at any given moment in order to dig out the salt. In these mines, the air was filled with salt dust, which made breathing something very hard to do, and over time caused damage to your lungs. And while you're down there, you have to remember to be very careful, as even a small mistake could be deadly, and you can't count on help arriving as it was far away and almost impossible for help to reach you. Now, if you chose to work on the salt flats, I hate to tell you that you're not safe there either. Salt miners working on ancient salt flats had one of the most toughest and most dangerous jobs around. The sun reflecting off the white salt flats made the work even more brutal, as the glare could burn their eyes and skin. The bright reflections and searing heat created a harsh environment that made it hard to see and breathe. Dehydration and heat stroke were constant threats, as the miners sweated through their clothes with little access to water or rest. To gather the salt, these miners worked under the scorching sun for long hours using simple tools like rakes and shovels. They scraped up the salt and piled it for collection, often bending over all day with no shade or protection from the intense heat. Despite this though, salt miners were essential in building the economy, and having enough salt was vital for cooking, trading, and their survival. And now for the final job on the list, gladiator. Now you may think this is probably the coolest job to ever have, as gladiators in ancient Rome were like the ultimate action heroes. But their lives were anything but glamorous. These fierce warriors were often slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, who were trained to fight to the death for public entertainment. They underwent rigorous and often brutal training to master a variety of combat techniques and weapons. On fight days, they entered arenas packed with thousands of spectators armed with swords, nets, or tridents, and wearing a minimal amount of armor. They faced off against each other, or in some cases, wild animals, in brutal battles where the stakes were life and death. While the victorious could win fame, riches, or even freedom, the defeated often faced a grim end. Gladiator fights were a thrilling but brutal form of entertainment that showcased the fierce and violent side of Roman culture. Each fight was mixed with drama and with real fighting, making the gladiator struggles and wins exciting to watch. The Roman audience loved the thrill and danger of these deadly battles. Well, that's all for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want a part 2 to this, let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time.